Florida did it. Florida, hello. Florida's got a pulse, a big pulse. Florida's sitting up. Florida's running out of the hospital bed. 27-16, they beat LSU. I give this game 3 Chalai on the 1 to 5 scale. I said 3 weeks ago when I put the JP poll out and I have Florida in it, I said, oh, this is going to be controversial because people know Florida's lost a lot of games. And I was of the opinion, and the model backed me up, that Florida with DJ Lagway is a much different caliber team. And they are. Then, as soon as I put Florida in the top 20, Lagway gets hurt and he doesn't play against Texas. And everyone refused to be honest about what it was. They're just a dead team on arrival in that game without Lagway. They get smoked. Well, now Lagway's back for last night's game, and Florida did what they should do with him, and that's win at home. I'm going to give you a hidden padlock stat because there's a lot of stuff that's in your face about this game. Hidden padlock stat, average starting field position, because Florida was 18 yards better on average. Florida started on average at their own 38, LSU at their own 20. And it was a big play game because the box score will lie to you. It will lie to you about this game. Big plays are what mattered, not the box score. Florida set themselves up with big plays. They scored touchdowns when they needed to. It was a swamp special. I don't know that they've trademarked that. I will. Bree, Katie Turner, whoever's listening down there, let's trade swamp special. Sounds like a Skynyrd song. I don't know Brian Kelly has that memorized. He seemed to have the fourth quarter song memorized down there. A big Petty fan, that Brian Kelly. Maybe just Petty in general. Who knows? I kid because I care. I got a lot of validation out of this game. I didn't have a rooting interest, but I had a validating feeling coming out of this game. Because you'll remember we went down there in spring, had Napier on the show. We hung out down there for a day. And I came back and I was very adamant that I loved the makeup of the program. I was adamant that they're doing things the same way that Georgia and Alabama do them. It's just that the wins haven't followed yet. They got great people in the building. Well, what I was trying to say by that is they are wired the right way. Well, if I was wrong about that, this team would have checked out a long time ago. Frankly, I think a lot of people are stunned that Florida is still playing at the level they're playing, and everyone's still bought in at the level they are. But it's because, humbly, I was right with what I told you I saw in the spring. Not a lot of people get to see behind the curtain like we did. Some places it's not like that. Florida, it's like that. Their record hasn't been good. There have been points this year they've been terrible, but they're still checked in. You take that for granted until you don't, until you see a team that's checked out. It happens more and more in college football. So you've got to give blame where it's due, and there's been a lot of blame to go around this year down there, but you've got to give credit as well. They're still fighting as hard as any team in the country. And now with one more win, they're bowl eligible. They got Ole Miss coming in there this weekend. That could be really fun. But I'll tell you what else is fun. Look at how many lies are in this box score. Florida won the game by double digits, and yet they ran 43 plays. LSU ran 92. LSU had more total yardage, rushing yardage, passing yards. LSU in yards after catch, 165-55 advantage. They had 12 more first downs than Florida. Big plays. Big plays, which leads me to my next point, and that is I do the show solo, but sometimes I'll bring in a guest, and she wheels her piano in here, and she is here again tonight. We got a little deeper in the show than usual. Some of you in the chat thought I had forgotten. How could I forget the Sarah McLachlan special? And it falls once again on the head of LSU. Do you know LSU last night struggled finishing drives? If you need proof, they went on a 13-play, 6-minute, 45-second drive, missed field goal. 15-play, 7-minute, 44-second drive, field goal. 15-play, 8-minute, 40-second drive, field goal. They had 3 drives last night that combined 43 plays, 22 minutes and 29 seconds of game clock, more than Florida had the whole game. They totaled 6 points in those 3 drives. LSU could not finish a drive to save their life last night, and because they couldn't finish last night, LSU kind of is finished now as a team for this year. I hate to do it, but everyone who watched this game knows that's reality. LSU is a team in transition right now. LSU, there is definite reason to be optimistic about the future of this program. I'm not selling LSU stock. I'm not doing anything like that. I know there's a lot floating around about how discombobulated or not the program is internally. They don't know. Folks don't know. I'll keep my mouth shut on a lot of things. But folks don't know. I've seen a lot of the stuff circulating today. They don't know. They don't know. And there are. We're live. I have to be careful. Like any program, LSU has some warts. The ones who win all the time still have warts. The ones who lose probably have more warts. LSU is no different than any other program. They have some warts internally. Normally, what I've observed with LSU is the stuff that people talk about on the internet doesn't come close to nailing what the real warts are, and the ones they think exist are largely imagined, and I think it's still the case. So they got the right people in the building. He hired the right folks defensively, or however that process went. They got the right folks in there defensively. They don't have good enough players right now. The personnel defensively is not good enough. If you think that's an excuse, whatever. I'm making an excuse for LSU defensively. But I don't think those guys forgot how to coach. I just think they need better players. They'll get them. They'll get them in time. They haven't fallen off in recruiting. And they got, as of this moment, they got Bryce Underwood coming in there. They'll be okay. Just not this year. You started better than expected. And then there was a period of time where I started calling them the biggest wild card team in college football. But the thing about being a wild card is that doesn't mean you're guaranteed to succeed. It could be just as easy for you to fail. And they failed. They have run out of gas. LSU played a 12-game season, and they had about 9 weeks worth of gas in the tank. And now it's running on empty a little bit.